Welcome to the only figure of 8 track on the F1 calendar. We're here at Suzuka for qualifying today ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix. A wet afternoon won't dampen the spirits of the supporters here, who are looking forward to an exciting qualifying session. They'll be wondering who has the pace to do well in these damp conditions.
The weather will always provide an element of taking chances and making mistakes with strategy, so it will really make for a fascinating session where anything can happen.
So here we are then, guys, for the Japanese Grand Prix in F1 2015 career mode. This is qualifying. You can see we are in the intermediate tyres here for this qualifying session. It's not a full downpour here for the qualifying session, but we do need those intermediate tyres as it is raining. So heading down to turn number 1 here in Japan. I've actually gone for quite a lot of downforce on the car for this qualifying session, and obviously the race as well, because you can't change the setup between the race and qualifying. So I've had quite a lot of downforce for this car, so through this first sector I should be good. This is where I should gain a lot of time on the AI, because this is where my cars are really set up for, because in the wet conditions as well you need a bit more downforce. So I was hoping the race is going to be wet, because obviously practice has been wet, qualifying's wet here as well, so I was like, surely the race is going to be wet as well. It wouldn't make much sense if it was just suddenly, well, I suppose the weather's just like random, so it doesn't really make sense. So yeah, anyway, I was just hoping that it would be a rainy race here today for the race a little bit later on. But through the first sector, you can see here we're about 7th or 8th position here, so we're not doing too badly. Probably slightly up on what we've been doing in the previous couple of races on the Legend difficulty. So through the hairpin and Japan, and all losing a couple of positions through there down to P13 there. So obviously downforce through the slow section of the track maybe not as good as I'd like here, but through these faster parts here maybe I should be alright here, because I do have the downforce to keep with the faster cars like the Mercedes and like the Ferraris. But we've exceeded track limits there, and that is exactly why I've got a flashback, because guys, I only have one chance to do a qualifying lap, so you know I've got to make sure that I use that flashback if I have a penalty like that. So unfortunately I do have to use that penalty there, which actually loses me a lot of time as well. So you can say I got the penalty out of it still, because I drop all the way down to 18th place now. That is really not a good way to do this qualifying here. So down the back straight now, you can see we completely lost Lewis Hamilton. He's way out in front there. You can see he's nowhere in sight really. He's so far in front, over 3 seconds in front of us now. But the last couple of corners here, I wasn't doing too badly in the last couple of corners in practice, so hopefully I can claw back a little bit of time. You can see I'm up to 13th, 14th, definitely getting a couple of positions. I was dropping down to 15th and now 16th and now 17th. Okay, maybe that wasn't exactly the greatest last sector, but we did gain up from 18th place there, guys. So, not a good qualifying result whatsoever. 17th place to start these Japanese Grand Prix, but it can pretty much only go better from there. We pretty much only got the 2 Manners and one of the Hondas, McLaren Hondas behind us, I assume. So yeah, there's the qualifying result there. You can see Max Verstappen is in 8th place there with 2.4 seconds off Hamilton, 1:44.9. We scroll down in a second here. We can see that I'm actually not that far off of him. The gap between Massa in 7th and Verstappen in 8th is actually one of the bigger gaps down the field. It's 0.8 of a second between those two. And actually the gap between me and Verstappen's about that as well. So anyway, let's head over to Crofty and Davidson.
Welcome to one of this year's most challenging races, where the combination of high speed and complex corners makes this one of the drivers' favourite tracks. It's time for the Japanese Grand Prix. It was a blistering lap time from Lewis Hamilton in qualifying yesterday. If he gets a clean start away from the grid today, he might be untouchable.
He's definitely going to be difficult to beat today, but anything can happen, so we'll have to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the course of the race.
It was a good win last time out for Lewis Hamilton, who will still be feeling buoyant going into today's race. He knows he's got the beating of the rest of the field as long as he doesn't hit any reliability issues with his Mercedes.
Well, Lewis can beat anyone on his day. His pace has been second to none at times. He just has a knack of finding those extra tenths which others can't. I'm expecting him to be particularly strong at the end of the stints today.
So here we are then, guys, race day for the Japanese Grand Prix in F1 2015 career mode. Obviously a disappointing qualifying there, starting in 17th place. It's actually Ericsson, not one of the McLarens who's behind us here. But anyway, lights are out and away we go here in Japan. You can see Jenson Button's actually had a good qualifying. He's always been pretty good around this Japanese circuit. Anyway, heading to turn number 1, trying to go around the outside of Alonso, but there's no space now. There is space going around the outside of a couple of people. That is definitely an illegal overtake. So so I've got to give that position back to Button, briefly give it back to him there and go back into the position there. So that's us into 15th place now. Maldonado is going quite slow as well. This first lap of the race looks like a key place for us to overtake people. Now down the inside of Perez, a little bit of contact there. You can see on this first lap of the race I am going like all out to try and gain some positions here. So that's 13th place now. Kvyat is going side by side with us here. Well, nearly, oh, it's nearly contact there as we try and go past Kvyat. Do we get the position? No, we don't. We have to slot in behind Kvyat for now, but we go down the inside of him here, and that's moved us up into 12th place. Does it? Yes, we cut back in front of him there, and that's us up into 12th place now. Hulkenberg is the car in front of us here. Can we get past him? Oh, it wasn't even supposed to be an overtake. We braked a bit too late. The space there. We go past Hulkenberg now. That is 11th place. No, it's not, because Hulkenberg's had a really good run on the exit there. Hulkenberg's back past us. He is into 11th place now. Still outside the points, but battling over P11, P12. Obviously, it's quite big because in the later stage of the race, there could be a couple of retirements. So, this could be fighting for a couple of points towards the end of the race here. So, it could mean a lot. So, we're switching it back down to the standard fuel mix now after we did not achieve our mission to get past Hulkenberg now. We've got Daniel Kvyat. How does this make any sense? We've both got the same engine there, but Kvyat is just so much faster in a straight line. I don't know. But anyway, final couple of corners here at Suzuka. Messed that one up quite a bit. Go across the curb here. Hamilton obviously leading this race. Seems to lead and win every single race in my F1 career modes, including the carp career mode as well. But anyway, let's have a look at that whole first lap once again from the replay camera, because we did make up quite a few positions. So we initially have quite a bad start in comparison to the McLaren Honda. So into turn 1, I try and go past Hulkenberg, sorry not Hulkenberg, Alonso around the outside, and I do just that, but then I overtake 2 cars off the track, Maldonado and Button. So for a brief second there I give back the position to Button. There was a bit of contact there I didn't actually see, but you can see here, right up behind Maldonado, I was trying to find a way past him. We go cleanly around the outside of him, and then we go down the inside of Perez there. There was a gap to go down the inside of Perez there, but I think he was sort of assuming I wasn't going to be there, so he turned into the corner. I think it was just a racing accident. Then we set our sights on Daniel Kvyat here. We had enough of a gap to go to the inside here. We go side by side with Kvyat here, but he does keep the position until this point here. We go down the inside here. I just have enough of an overlap to get in front of him there and move up into, what is it, 12th place here. So this was the move on Hulkenberg. They all braked extremely early because they were all breaking up behind someone. They were sort of bottled up behind them, but I did manage to get past Hulkenberg here, but we ran side by side. Hulkenberg just having that extra speed in the, obviously, Mercedes-powered Force India, so he was able to get past us. Then we were under pressure from Danny Kvyat once again. He was right up behind us, obviously. He's in the factory Red Bull, whilst I'm in sort of the secondary Red Bull team. So, well, I was trying to set my sights on getting past Hulkenberg, but I ran a bit wide there. That's lost me a bit of time. That actually probably part of the reason why I was so slow in a straight line, having a bad run, I think slightly touching the gravel. So, by the end of the straight here, you can see Kvyat goes past me, but I break it, well, I brave it. I go a bit around the outside. I do go 4 wheels off the track, so I don't know, was it an illegal overtake? The game didn't seem to think so. I probably would have, got a penalty, like a 3-second penalty in real life, but luckily for me I didn't in the game, and that means I retain my position here. Now we've got to try and chase down Hulkenberg, but it was not that easy, because as we enter the pit lane on lap number 5, going to lap number 6, you can see we haven't really done anything. We're literally in the same position as we were before. Hulkenberg was a couple of seconds out the road. We're still defending from Danny Kvyat. We're basically just where we were for the first half of the race, I should say. We're basically just in the same position, and you can see through the pit stops there, we have actually closed in a little bit on Hulkenberg. And did we get past Grosjean? I'm confused. I don't even know. Did Grosjean have a bad pit stop there? I'm really not too sure. Did he have to change his front wing? But once again, this absolutely stupid pit lane glitch there where you just get stuck in second gear. But we skip about halfway through the lap. I managed to get past Hulkenberg, and then going on to the next lap here. What is happening? What is happening here, guys? Why are they all just standing in, or sitting in a line, I should say? Raikkonen is going about 3 miles an hour in the middle of the track. It's a bit like that last episode, don't you remember? Was it Kvyat? Where he was just sitting in the middle of the road with no front wing, going really slowly. But this time, Raikkonen, he has no problem. He's just going incredibly slowly. Rosberg's doing it as well, look. He's just going really, really slowly. This can't be the pit, sort of outlap pit sort of glitch, can it? They're not that slow on this outlap here. Ooh, I try and go around the outside of Rosberg there, but he sort of closed the gap. Let's have a look at this again from the replay camera. Like, why is he going so slowly? Like, into the braking zone here, he brakes extremely early, but look at this. He's it looks like he's floating in the replay camera. I don't know. That's not done very well, is it? But anyway, you can see I was trying to go around the outside here, but what is happening? Have any of you guys had this glitch? I don't even have I had this glitch in this career mode so far. I can't even remember at this point. We've had so many different glitches, but Very weird to see that happening. And then skipping ahead to the 8th lap of the race here, Kvyat actually makes his pit stop finally, and we're up into 5th place. Like, how did this suddenly happen? We're suddenly in the position. We're battling over 4th place in this race now with Daniel Kvyat. We can catch him up here. Like, how did this happen? We were struggling outside the points a couple of laps ago, but very, very weird. I don't like getting good results this way because, let's be honest, I was never going to get 5th place in this race if it wasn't for the AI just going like 3 miles an hour on their out laps. I wasn't going to, do anything. I probably wouldn't even score points because me and Kvyat are both outside the points at that stage. So if the AI would do normal outlap speeds, we'd probably be battling just outside the points. And obviously I'd have lost another position because Kvyat was in front of me this time because he's had a good second stint here. But you can see here, Kvyat, he's gone with the alternative strategy. Has he? No, he's not. It's very weird. Kvyat stopped really late there because he was on the option tyres there for 7 laps. I don't know why he went for that strategy, but I suppose it's worked out for him. He's jumped me in the pit stop stages, only by a little bit here, because you can see by the end of the lap here, he's actually not that far in front of me. We've closed in the gap quite a bit to Danny here, so it's going to be tough to overtake him, of course, because he's going to have much newer tyres, but we might be able to, put a challenge on him here for a good position in this race, because even though he's got a faster car, you'd probably say, I think we've done, doing quite well on this track here. We seem to be matching the pace of the AI almost. It's not a track that I've ever been that good at as well, so I'm pretty surprised about it. Oh, we're trying to go for a move down the inside of Kvyat, but it's a bit too late there to be going for a move. So, last corner here in Suzuka, we're going to be going around it here. We're going to be able to get, I think we're going to have the DRS, aren't we? We're quite close. Yes, we do get the DRS down this main straight here. Are we going to be able to be fast enough down this straight, though, to be in the zone to try and catch Kvyat here into turn 1? I don't think so. Sparks are flying. We do look to the inside, do we? There's a bit of contact. We run side by side with Kvyat. We got the move done. We're up into 4th place now, but we're so slow off the corner, and Kvyat managed to get back past. Actually, I might have given him that position back there because I made contact with him in the middle of the corner there. So, actually, yeah, if I remember correctly, I did actually, didn't I? I gave the position back to him because I thought the move was a little bit bad. But anyway, let's get to the last 2 laps of the race here, guys, because you can see I'm putting Kvyat under a lot of pressure, and we've actually got a bit of pressure from ourselves now because Felipe Massa has really closed the gap in here. As I've been stuck up behind Kvyat, I really haven't been able to keep the pace up that I'd like here, but we've gone for the move down the inside of Danny Kvyat, and we've got Bottas in front of us up the road in P3 there. Let's see the time through the sector split here. How far behind Bottas are we? 25 seconds. Like, wow, we definitely didn't have the pace in this race, but we're into 4th through no, crashes or anything. We've legitimately got, well, sort of legitimately got the way up here, but I think a lot down to the thanks of the AI just going really slowly on their outlets, but we keep our 4th place here. Kvyat doesn't manage to get past us here, and we're going to be going split screen in a second, guys, because you guys said in the last episode you did like that idea. That's something that's a bit different about my last episode that I think a lot of you guys did enjoy. The split screen was pretty interesting. We run slightly wide here. Kvyat gets down near side here. We're not going to be able to turn into the corner here. He manages to get back past us here, and down this back straight we're going to try and stay in the slipstream of Danny Kvyat here. So we're going to go split screen now. You can see Massa's right up behind me. He's on the left hand side. He's going for the move down the inside with that superior straight line speed. Who are we going to be? Oh, we're coming around the outside of both of them. We've gone off the track there at 130R. We give back the position to Kvyat, but not to Massa. Maybe that's something, looking back at this, I definitely should have done, because I did sort of get past Massa off the track there. I don't know. I think probably in real life you would have given the positions back to Massa there, but down this straight here we have the DRS thanks to being behind Kvyat, but Massa, how? No words. I don't even know what to say. That's just crazy how fast he is in a straight line there. A bit of contact through turn 1, and we get the position back past Massa. You can see I was getting a bit frustrated because I was just getting overtaken in the straight line literally everywhere. So I was literally going for a little bit optimistic move. So I guess you guys can sort of see that in the race. Obviously, I was so slow in a straight line thanks to a lot of downforce. We've gone down the inside of Kvyat there. We got very sideways, and we've dropped back behind him here. He steered into the corner. It's just one of those racing accidents. Once again, I went for the move down the inside. There was a gap, but obviously Kvyat's got to turn. He's got to turn into the corner. So that's why I, think it was just a racing accident at the end of the day. But now we slightly lost Kvyat here, and Massa, he's got really, really fast straight line speed. Even on these short straights, he can't Can't resist trying going for a move around the outside at the hairpin. There's space here. I didn't expect him to be so fast off the corner there, so there was a bit of contact, but I did leave him the space. I left him a car's whip down the inside. He went for that, but then he backs off through here, and that gives me a space down the inside. Are we going to be able to run side by side with Massa? We break a bit later. Are we going to go around the outside? We run a little bit wide off the track. Side by side with Massa once again. We go around the outside. It's really, really close here with Felipe Massa. We've slightly touched the gravel, I think, on the outside there. Definitely touched the grass. That has lost the speed down the straight here. So we're in 6th place here with Felipe Massa in 5th place, just in front of us here. A couple of corners to go here. We go quite wide through 130R once again. Breaking into the penultimate corner. We go down the inside there. Felipe Massa. We move up into 5th place on the penultimate corner. And Ricardo, I think that is, goes around the outside of Felipe Massa as well. He moves himself up. Massa goes from 5th to 7th on the last little straight there as well. So really disappointing for Massa, I suppose you'd say. But for me, I took a 5th place, which I probably didn't deserve, down to actual pace. We'll see that in a second with the results, but you got to take it when you can. You can see that the best lap time, very, very bad here. 3.5 seconds off Lewis Hamilton. Looking towards our teammate, he did 139.8. We did a 140.41.0. So I was 1.2 seconds slower on my fastest lap of the race there, but I did manage to stay with Kvyat for a lot of that race there. So I think it was just that first stint where I wasn't that great, but the second stint I did seem to do alright. But anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Hopefully you did enjoy it. It's been a bit of a longer episode, even though the race wasn't exactly amazing. I had to get all the highlights in there somehow, everything that happened. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. We had one DNF down the bottom of that leaderboard as well here, but we'll look at the standings in a minute as well here, because we actually have finished ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in that race. So that's going to move us, yes, within 1 point now of Kimi Raikkonen, which is surprising. Bottas moves ahead of Rosberg in the championship, and Vettel still has a 23-point lead in this Career Mode Championship. Like, what's happening? I don't know. Ferrari lead the way. There's a Mercedes in second, and then a Williams in third. Very weird. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. And until next time, it's been Cloud here. Goodbye.